All right, welcome everybody. This is the Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight is February 8th, 2022. My name is Lynn Fiddler. I am the chair, and we have in front of us, we have 5 full-time members. I'd like to welcome Larry Keane as a full-time member this evening.
Thank you very much. Larry.
Welcome to the team, not that you weren't part of the team before. So also this evening we have Attorney Bob Galvin, our town council, zooming in with us. Hi. Andrew Stewart and Nancy, I'm sure everybody's familiar with as well. So I'm going to just ask the board to introduce themselves, but we don't have a nameplate, and we will get this underway. So Larry Keane.
Larry Keane.
Lynn Fiddler.
Heidi Conway.
Brian Murphy.
All righty. So this evening, this is a hybrid participation meeting. So what that means is that we will use every effort will be made to ensure that the members of the public can adequately access the proceedings to the best of our technical abilities. And despite our best efforts, this meeting may be viewed as a video recording on Marshfield Community Television. And we have MCTV here helping us out as we go along. And a transcript or other comprehensive record of the meeting will be available as soon as possible after the meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless required by law. So this is a Zoom meeting. We have meeting ID 836-5460-4561, passcode 636920. I'd also like to inform those that are dialing in with their telephones that they need to press *6 to be heard, and then again *6 to mute yourselves. So Andrew, you are the host this evening. All righty. We have a few changes to our agenda. But before we get started, I want to make sure Bob Galvin, he did a wave, but I want to make sure that we can hear you, Bob.
I can hear you just fine, and hopefully you can hear me just fine.
Yep, loud and clear. Do you have a pen? I have more. Thank you. Okay, so this evening we have new hearings, that we have some changes to our agenda. And there were some applications that we didn't have complete packages, so we're going to go through that. But let me just take a quick peek here. So we have I'm going to start on continued hearings to date certain, which is on page 3 of 4 of our agenda. And this applicant is case 2190, Gabrielle and Helene Gomes of 76 Caroline Circle. And the applicant has requested a continuance to April 12th. Is that correct, Nancy?
Correct.
Things have been changing, okay. So I'd like to ask the board if they would be in agreement with that and take a motion to continue. Do I have a motion to continue?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
That's not
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor of continuing case 2190 to April 12th at a time certain of 6:30?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All righty. So we have a vote of 5-0, so you'll take care of that on the agenda, Nancy? All righty. So we also have a case 2208, which I'm going to read into the record. We're going to kind of do a little housekeeping here. This particular case also had some application concerns, and so we're going to read this into the record, and then the applicant is going to come back in front of us, I believe, on March 8th. But let me read this into the record, and then we will finish up with this little piece of housekeeping. So 2208, which is Maureen C.G. Cook. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.10, 305-9.02B, and 305-9.02C of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct an 8-foot by 45-foot and an 8-foot by 32.1 foot L-shaped deck attached to the elevated single-family dwelling on the property located at 125 Surf Avenue, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel K11-2407 and is located in an R3 zoning district. So this case has been opened, and with the approval of the board, I would like to make a motion to continue that case to March 8th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
Excellent. Okay. So Nancy, you're going to follow up with them and make sure that happens. Okay. We also have a case in front of us this evening, which is case 22-10, which is Robert Manchester. And I am going to do the same thing with this, where I'm going to read this into the record, and then we will see where that goes. So 22-10, Robert Manchester, the petitioner is seeking a variance in accordance with 305-10.11 for relief from 305-6.02 and a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 14-foot by 24-foot three-season porch over the existing deck on the property located at 36 Everson Road, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel L09-14-03 and is located in an R3 zoning district. So this site plan will make its way to us, and we will get a complete application, and I would like to make a motion that we continue this case to a date certain of February 22nd at 6:30. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
All righty. That's a vote of 5-0 to continue that case. We also have case 22-11, which is Jay Robishaw and Siobhan Durkin. The petitioners are seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 12-foot by 12-foot second-floor addition for a home office on the property located at 5 Columbia Road, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel I-160602 and is located in the R3 zoning district. This as well, I would like to make a motion to continue to a date certain of February 22nd at a time of 6:30. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
Excellent. Thank you. Um, 54 Kent Avenue, Nancy, same approach, correct?
Pardon me?
54 Kent Avenue to February 22nd as well.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just double checking things didn't change. We have also a case 22-12, which is Peter Dyan. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 12-foot by 24-foot second-story sunroom at the rear of the dwelling on the property located at 54 Kent Avenue, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel K11-27-10 and is located in an R3 zoning district. I'd like to make a motion to continue this case to a date certain of February 22nd at 6:30. Do I have a second?
Second.
Can I speak up on that?
Yes, sir.
I'm Scott Murphy, I'm representing Peter Dion, and I'd just like to know what the holdup is. I thought I got all my paperwork in time, and
This case does not have, the site plan is not stamped, nor is it dated.
you mean the plot plan?
The site plan, plot plan is not,
And how is that not dated? I just have a permit for the first part of the job. Right, it's the same plot plan that I turned in 6 months ago. I got a new plot plan, it's the same job, it's already a job that started, I'm just having
okay.
to finish it, so. So you're telling me I have to get a new plot plan, or?
You just need it stamped and dated.
Well,
So
it is
perhaps it
stamped.
was,
Damn plot plan, it's just maybe not a date on the plot plan itself.
it's,
but-
I'm sorry, you're correct. It was stamped, but the indicator on the stamp itself was not dated, nor were the plans themselves dated. If you'd like me to look, or if you like, okay, yes,
Ms. Fiddler,
yes,
the site plan doesn't show the lot area, yards,
Ew.
or setbacks associated with the proposed alterations. It's a simple site plan showing that the lot is 10,000 square feet. And, you know, this is a alteration of a non-conforming use. And you need those, you need the yard setbacks in order to make
It's
a
in the same
determination.
Right.
footprint.
I had the same opinion, Bob. So that's town council speaking.
Yeah.
So perhaps you can take, you know, the next,
But this is in the same footprint, so
Do
I
they
don't-
have it at the top, in the job, in the jacket?
I've looked at
did,
it,
okay.
and I came up with the same conclusion as town council. So perhaps we can take a short recess after I get through this housekeeping, but if you wouldn't mind taking a seat. So this case has been opened, and based on what I am understanding and my interpretation and Bob's interpretation, the board have any comments on this?
What, did the applicant request an extension, a continuance, or was this
No,
the board doing it?
The package itself was
Okay.
incomplete.
So the board is
So
doing it
we
because of an
can't-
incomplete
So we
package?
can't, without a
Yep.
complete package, we can't send it to Concom and all the other places that we need to
Yep.
send it to.
I mean, if the gentleman is saying that it's in the same footprint, it's just not evident from the plan.
Yep.
Does Andrew have anything?
Just a second.
Yeah,
Well, you saying.
fool me, look at the
Well,
plan.
sir, first of all, if we're going to do this, and
Right.
would you identify yourself for the record?
Philip Murphy.
Would you please come join, address the board? And just, you feel free to sit down, just because
I
your
can
voice.
stand. I
You,
can
you'd
stand.
like to stand, okay. Just a minute.
Not this one.
Yeah, I'm looking for the plans themselves.
Can you pull it up, Andrew? It's Bob.
That's Bob. These are the architectural renderings.
Awesome.
And the architectural renderings were fine.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking for, do you have the site plan
I
in
have
your
what, whatever you
package?
got, it's all over here.
Oh, yep, thank you. Would you like to show me where on this plan it's dated?
No.
Or
There may not be a
just-
date on it. I'm not
there may not
arguing
be-
the
oh,
point
okay.
on the date,
All
but
right.
It is stamped.
Okay.
And this job is already, the first part of this job is in progress.
Okay,
So it's already marked out on the plan and the plot plan
okay,
where the addition is. It's not even, it's not an addition.
So
It's
what you
it's a
have here on
rehab.
the site,
It's not an addition, it's a rehab that I'm working on now. Now the customer wants to go with a second level.
So you're
So-
staying
above
within
what
the
I'm doing
footprint?
now. Excuse me?
You're staying within the existing footprint?
I'm staying within the existing footprint, I'm not going 1 inch out of it.
I went down and looked at this today, and he's going straight up from
Right.
within the
On
footprint.
the
He's-
roof.
Flat roof system's already there, I'm only putting up 3 walls and a roof.
Okay.
I'm not putting up, the foundations there, everything's
okay.
there.
But because we haven't,
So you don't have a date on that, so you,
well, we
Might have to-
have a lot on our docket this
Yeah.
evening. So for this particular case, we were unable to get the sign-offs. Let me just,
Oh, from the other board?
yes, because it was an incomplete package. Just a second.
So who's that from? Oh,
Are
plan.
we? So,
Is
20,
that Dion, right?
wait a minute.
Dion, write the
I mean,
name?
February 22nd
Just a
isn't
second,
that
sir,
far
let me,
away.
sir,
Isn't it?
just a
Hold
second,
on.
please, don't address the board, just for a second here. 2212.
That's not what I had before
Yeah.
that plan right there.
So the planning board actually did in fact, even with an incomplete package, did respond, and it says the planning department does not support this application as submitted. More site plan information setbacks is needed. So, because of that,
We're not allowed to act.
we
But,
can,
Linda, I
Yes.
just wanted to tell you that the plan that's up on the screen right now is not what was included in my packet, because that plan there does
Has
have
the
setbacks
Yeah.
in it.
That's the plan.
Is that what planning
the
got?
plan.
What did planning get?
Well, what he's saying, that
That's
wasn't,
the plan
in-
I turned in.
yeah,
Yeah, I
he's saying that
understand that.
wasn't in the packet.
It was in the package.
Yeah, I don't,
No, it wasn't in the packet I received from the town.
Maybe you didn't
from
receive
the,
it, but I
from the
turned it in.
town. So also, it doesn't, this site plan
Shows you the
doesn't, just,
existing three-season
sir,
home just on
sir,
top of that.
sir, just for a second, okay? This site plan also does not outline the proposed project. So I agree, you have your existing deck, you have your existing three-season and the other existing deck, but it does not outline the proposed project. So I did spend some time and tried to identify where, if I was going to present this in front of the board, where I would have highlighted, and I understand that you're going straight up. What you're doing is you're going straight up. I did notice that there were some inconsistencies in the advertisement for the dimensional setbacks of the building, not the setbacks, I'm sorry, the architectural size of the building. There were some minor changes. For example, here we are. I have the right glasses on. Just a second. Andrew, would you mind throwing up the floor plan with the dimensions on it in relation to what we're seeing on the site plan?
That would be this here.
Yeah. So, when I was looking at this, I highlighted the areas that I interpreted were going to be, yes. And I noticed on the legend, it says, these are the wall changes to the right. So I have done some work on this.
Well, he's not till the third hearing, right? 1, 2,
What?
he's not till the third hearing. Do you want to let him go out there and draw on the thing? Show us. It's up to you.
Highlight the
The
areas.
area that you're working on.
on his existing site
On the
plan.
top plan, and then you're not till the third
I-
hearing anyways.
Okay. I'll do that.
We can just hear it then, we can always just kick it
We
to
just
the
read
next
it
one.
into the record,
Yeah.
so
Can
we would,
We don't have to do it right now.
Can
We
you
do
use
it
this one?
anytime tonight.
That's fine, go ahead, that's fine.
I can do it right here on this.
Go.
We have a lot going on this evening, but
Well, why don't we start the ones that we can do? We'll leave this open, you can get that squared away.
It's still not dated, if that's gonna be a
it's
problem.
not dated. If you're saying that this is just an editorial quick fix and it's not something that,
Approval would be
Would
based on
February
that anyway.
22nd
Yeah,
be
we
a
would
hardship for you?
condition it.
Condition it to be done.
we would condition that your plans themselves, but we also would not be able to
Yeah,
move
the
forward with
22nd
it.
isn't that far away.
We wouldn't be able to move forward with a vote without planning unless
Yeah,
the
then we need
board,
to sign off.
we would need them to weigh in on it. So, but you could definitely, perhaps present this to the board. Let's,
On the 22nd,
yes.
get it dated.
Get it dated, highlight on the site plan where you're proposed, you're going up, and then, I noticed the front steps weren't on your,
There are no steps.
am
On the second floor.
I thinking of this? No, on the actual, no, right here. This is, 54 Kent, So this here has, your site plan has front steps. Your first floor does not have front steps. That's I'm just, if you're gonna, yeah, here. There you go. Oops. You gotta look at it upside down. See what I'm saying?
So maybe sit with Andrew and.
It won't, I mean,
Quite a
it's
bit.
not,
We need
Whatever you have to
Andrew
do.
right now.
we like to work
What?
with the applicants, so I understand your
No, I'm
concerns.
just saying, not right now.
But
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
the board
saying,
has
for the
some-
next meeting, yeah.
just get it all ready.
Yeah.
Been there for, since
Okay, but
1987.
we're looking at, I understand that, we're looking at setbacks, and that's what came up. So that's where I'm just,
Okay.
okay?
So you want to just come back on the
So-
22nd with everything cleaned up?
22nd, yeah.
Okay.
But all he's gonna need is, be clear, is a dated plan and a outline of what you're
You
going.
outlined it right there.
Where you're going.
Andrew outlined it, yeah.
Yep.
Is there anything, so he has everything else, he has the
Except the
deed,
deed?
Except the date on that.
Keep that.
deed's here, and I can look at,
we
just to
need
make sure,
plan.
because I want to make sure
I
we
don't
have
know why you
everything.
would need the date, quite honestly. I mean, I agree with Scott here, like,
I'm not disagreeing with you, but we have that planning
we've
rule.
accepted less from, you know, from people recently for stuff that was not just a volume increase or actually expanded the footprint, you know?
I'll wait till the 22nd. Gotta get moving.
Is that,
If that's, well, you said you can't vote on it, right?
Well,
right?
can we vote on, if if planning didn't give us the green light, can we vote on this?
As long as they've had at least 30 days to respond, and they haven't, you can.
So they
They did
haven't,
respond.
they responded, but
They
they
did
didn't have.
respond.
Well, then you can vote on it.
They responded in the negative.
But that doesn't, that's
Doesn't
a
matter, they
recommendation.
responded.
It's not binding on you.
Okay.
So we could vote on this tonight if we want,
And just
Yes, you
condition
could.
whatever he has to do.
and condition it.
And
All right, so why don't we
condition.
wait, he's third in line, we'll do the other people.
Why didn't you, yeah, okay.
It'll give us time to digest
Yeah,
what's
no.
going on.
Maybe we can, all right.
Maybe it'll work.
Did we just read it in? That's all we did?
I read
We
it
just
into
opened
the,
it?
I read,
Okay.
I opened
Ready,
it,
we just have to reopen.
so I'll
See.
just go back to the, now I'm a little discombobulated, okay. So 22-12 was opened,
You did this one. That's it.
and I
that the
did the
last one?
others, and that was the last one.
So now we can
This
go
one
to
here?
07?
Yeah, well, that was so I have case 2172A, which was a continued hearing to date certain of tonight. And that has already been read into the record, and that's for 17 Seminole Avenue. I'd like to suggest to the board we start there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So do we have the applicant for 17 Seminole Avenue here? Would you like to approach the board? It's just because the microphones catch your voice better. It's up to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we've read it into the record, so why
Okay.
don't you identify
Right.
yourself for the record and
I'm Dick
explain
Rockwood,
this
and I've
project.
done the, from Rockwood Design, and I've done the architectural work for Mr. McNiff. We are asking for a variance to get closer to our rear setback line. The house is non-conforming on both sides, and I could, as a matter of right, go back another 5 feet, but we're asking for another 6 feet beyond that.
Just a
so I'm
second
asking to
while he
go
gets
back
the
12
site plan
feet.
up. There we go.
Another 7 feet, actually, beyond what I would have the right normally to ask for. Let's see, wait for the plan to come up. That's an old plan, there's a,
Is that the most recent plan?
yes.
Well, this non-conformance is located in a lot that does not meet any area requirements.
So we're asking for a farmer's porch on the front of the house under the special permit in that area there. Just a one-story little farmer's porch with a covering going across the front. We have architecturals in here also. But in the back of the house where it says proposed addition, we're required to be 30 feet from the rear property line. Mr. McNiff has some health issues and wants to get a bedroom on the first floor and make it so it's all first floor living. And for that reason, to really get the space that we need, that we feel that we need, we're asking for variance. So where it says the 12-foot dimension coming out, if I came out 5 feet, I'd still have my 30-foot rear setback, but the 5-foot addition doesn't work well on the structure. So he's requesting of the board that we, asking the board to see if they would grant us a permit, a variance actually, so that would only be 24 feet from the rear line. The upper part of this where the parcel 0307 is the church. It's a church parking lot, so it's not necessarily affecting any neighbors in that direction. I don't have anything else that represents necessarily the other neighbors, but they're all pretty much non-conforming houses in that area. We're also putting on a dormer on the upstairs, on the front and the rear. Actually, on the front, the rear already has a full dormer. The rear of the house is a 2-story. So this addition that we're asking for is just a 1-story addition off the back of the house that we're asking for the variance portion on.
Okay. Planning did weigh in on this, and their comments were as follows. The proposal should be checked to see if it meets the maximum building area requirement of 40%. If the addition is greater than the 40% maximum building area requirement, then planning department would find that general conditions 7 and 10 under alteration or extension of non-conforming single-family residence are not met.
And do we have on the site plan the square footage? I'm
So we
not
need to go towards that.
Says 4,000 square feet.
The lot,
Yeah.
The lot is, yeah.
4,000.
What's the house in the addition?
Can you move over a little, so.
I would need a second to
Yep,
tell you what that is. Would the farmer's porch count? Lot coverage?
If it's covered, yes.
Yeah, it's covered, okay. So 24 times 33 plus. It'll take a second to do this.
that's all right. Andrew, can you move it
Move
over
it
so
over
I
more,
can
yeah.
see the proposed on, existing and proposed?
It's 12 by
Where-
30.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you looking?
It's 360.
Oh, I have it, Larry. It's nice. So the front sides are 15 setback, the rear is 30. So the proposed is 7.8 on the side, 8.1 on the other side, and
4.5
23.7.
times 34 is 153. Let me check one of these, 35, so 48. So, so I am plus 48 plus 360 plus 792. I'm 1,353 square feet,
Oh, yeah, it has to be.
so I'm less than my 40%.
You're under the 40%?
I'm under my 40%.
Okay.
See all that math?
Hmm?
See all that math back in the olden days? Using an actual calculator.
Yeah, we'd like you to use the new math.
The new math.
Which math were you using?
My math is very much like the new math is the same as my math. Do the big numbers and divide by the
For the
little,
rest of your
subtract the
life.
little ones.
All right, so we meet that standard.
Okay.
So you're not becoming any more non-conforming on the front or either side. It's the rear that you're looking for the
Correct.
variance on.
Correct.
The height of the building, do we have an architectural
They're in there, yes.
someplace?
It's a cape,
Yep,
so it's just a
Just take a peek.
two-story, very low to the ground.
okay.
It's probably 23 feet or 25 feet or something like that to the
Where
ridge.
would the,
It should be-
And the rear additions are one story.
In the rear addition, it lines up with the existing deck, right?
applications, would it be saved as,
It should be separate from,
Got the wrong thing.
Yes, it did.
Can't see.
oh, it's there?
It did.
This is in
I
the
have the
zoning
plan here, so it did line up with the existing deck, but
And it doesn't go further than the existing deck.
amended
No.
application?
it does not.
So Bob, would this be the same as the thing we did on Dwight Road, or no?
No, this is really up to the board, but the board has to, receive elements in all the variances. So, the deck can exist there because it's probably not over a certain height. It can be into the setback, but, a structure is not supposed to be, so.
So this doesn't fall under the new law that you showed us on the thing on Dwight Road?
No.
Right.
Andrew's still looking to get the,
They don't seem to be in the file.
they're not in the file?
I'm looking,
You have them with you, Dick?
Do you have the architecturals with you by chance?
I do.
I know we looked at them last time.
they're not in any, they're not in any of the emails, but I know it was continued.
This is the addition from the rear as a one-story,
Okay,
2020.
and this is the side view.
okay, so it
So
does
it's just
not,
a-
it's
a
not
cape.
even close to the 35 feet
No.
height requirement, okay. Does the board need to see that? Everybody okay?
Sorry, yeah.
They're either.
I'd like to just mention to the board that I did receive a letter in regards to this applicant as a hardship from Dana Farber. I'm not going to read it into the record, but, so I do have a letter. Or we have a letter. I just have,
Can I see that again?
thank you. Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the public? No? Would you like to close? Do we feel like we have enough information?
We have enough.
Is there anything else?
Did you read this?
This is from the previous.
This is from Bob.
Yes.
And then this, did you read that?
Let me see. Just a second, folks.
What is the current setback on there, Andrew? 20? I mean, what's the setback to the deck?
Currently?
24 feet?
The deck and the addition.
The deck, I think they're the same, so it's 24
Yeah, it's
feet.
23.7,
So,
but it's less than 4 feet.
right, but it's And
So is there any way of getting around asking for the variance?
So he's 24 feet back right now. The overhang thing, it's 20, you got the overhang on the plan, correct?
Yes.
So is that has a roof obviously above that, so you're actually at 20, so you have 10 feet that you're looking back into that, so.
Well, 3 feet would be as a matter of right, so I'm really asking for
Right.
7 feet into the variance.
Is there anything?
Well,
you-
23, so 6.3 feet.
Yeah, but you can't, that overhang, you count from the overhang, not the foundation.
Right.
So that 24 feet goes to the
Well,
over?
the bottom line is, I'm asking to be 23.7 feet from the rear line. Well, that's from one corner, then the other corner's 24. So, instead of 30.
Right.
So I'm asking for 6 feet, of variance, let's say.
Well, not really, because it's, well, existing is
Yeah, because you
37?
need, it's 30, so 15, 15, and 15, and the rear is 30. So the
So
soil.
7 feet you're allowed anyways, right?
5.
No,
Well, yeah, I'm 35.7, and then plus the 2-foot overhang. So that'd be 33.7. So I've got, from the overhang, so 3.5 feet I'm allowed, let's say. So it's the rest. So it basically with the 24 feet, or the 23.7, I'm asking for 6 feet of, into the, what I normally would be able to have as a matter of right, coming to zoning. 6.3 feet.
And the reason he's asking for that is this.
That's what I'm looking
bylaw.
for.
This, the other required open spaces for residential lots under 5,000 square feet shall be covered through the issuance of a special permit or variance.
So he has to come no matter what.
He has to come no matter what, for that aspect, but that's wise, because it's kind of a specialized thing,
Right,
that
it
being
triggers it,
under
right.
5,000.
Right.
And I don't see a problem with it.
It's a small house, and in order to
Deck's
get
already in the setback to that distance, but
Right.
I don't know how
But it's
anyone else
the
feels.
whole, it's the variance,
I understand.
the shape, topography,
Right.
soil.
There's just no way to get the room downstairs to have the sitting area, the bedroom, and, it's a very small footprint of a house. So,
All right, well, I think we know what our limitations are on this. Let's
Right.
just, the board will have to deliberate and decide. Are there any comments from the public? Again, if you're dialing in, you need to press *6 to be heard. All right, seeing there are no comments from the public, unless there is some other way to change the footprint and make this addition meet the variance, I'm inclined to close this and let the board deliberate.
Yeah.
Okay?
yeah.
All right, okay, all right. I'd like to make a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. All those in favor of closing?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Ryan Murphy, aye.
I just took my
What?
No.
Does the board feel they would like to deliberate now, or wait till the end of this hearing, or what would you like to do? It's a little tricky one because of the variance.
I'm comfortable to move.
Nothing they can do differently, because it just doesn't really fall into it.
It doesn't, well, Brian, what do you think?
I don't know, it's a tough one.
Do you want to just ponder it and wait till the end and come
Yeah, I
back to
wouldn't
it?
mind doing
I
that.
kind of think that
Yeah.
might be a
Wait for the end of the
smart
meeting.
move.
This is gonna take a few
I just don't
minutes.
want to
Fair enough.
jump to
Give it
it.
some thought.
We'll give it
With all
some
the
thought.
requests I've had here over the years, I haven't had a variance situation with the health
This is a-
issue and needing the
I
room to live in the
understand what's
first floor.
going
So
on, but,
that's what the owner would like to request, so
okay.
we don't know what our next option is.
Yeah,
So
I understand
moved.
that.
But,
I understand.
so that's the hardship.
Okay, so this case is closed, and the board will deliberate at a later time or date. Okay. Thank you for your time, and
Yep,
good luck.
thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to now move through our agenda in the order that you will see it based on what has been removed. So we're just gonna, we'll go through 2207, 2209, 2213, and 2214, and 2215, and that will close out our evening. It's currently 7:15. All right, board, are we ready to go here?
Yep.
All right. Do we have the applicant here for case 2207 for 116 Island Street? Hi, come on up. How are you? Good, how are you? Good, very good. I'm going to read this into the record and then we'll get started. This is 2207 Patrick Kennedy. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 72-inch by 100-inch, is that correct?
It is 72 by 104, I believe, yeah, 104.
Inch breezeway between the first floor of the dwelling and second floor of the garage on the property located at 116 Island Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel N06-06-33 and is located in an R3 zoning district. Okay, well, my name is Lynn Fiddler, and I will, Larry, which one are you doing this evening? Are you doing one?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. I'll be your hearing officer. So why don't you explain what this project's all about, and you'll see that Andrew is putting up your application on the board. But
Great.
let's see what you have to say.
Thank you for hearing us tonight.
Yeah?
We have a, the lot is existing non-conforming. So we have two structures on the property right now. We have our primary residence, and then we have a garage out back. On the second floor, it's a conditioned area as it is right now. And just in efforts to try to get some more space for a growing family, we just want to do a breezeway that would go from the first story of our house to the second story, which is the conditioned area of the garage. And so I guess, I think you guys have the elevation cert and everything there. But, yeah, the house back in like maybe 2000 or 99, I think I saw a permit for it, was elevated to 14.1. So, and I believe the garage second story is at, is a, it is a, I don't know, it's about a 5-foot difference. So we're looking to put a breezeway with stairs so that we can make a playroom or an area where, you know, our kids can play and stuff
Okay.
like that, and just kind of expand our living.
So it's all within the existing footprint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the proposed structure is the, just the breezeway there at 72 by 8'4".
It's all within inside everything they have already.
It's connecting,
It's-
right?
Yeah, it really isn't a big, I mean, I don't see anything yet.
There was a comment about whether it was in the coastal wetlands district, but I think we've ruled that out.
It's not in a coastal wetlands.
Yeah.
Yes, so, yeah, being that second story of the garage pulls us out of the flood zone, I guess.
Okay. Andrew, do you have any comments on this?
It's similar to what the ZBA did with the 27 Porter, which was, but they, in that case, they structurally connected it with a deck
Yeah.
in order to,
Get that, yeah.
Thing. In this case, they're actually going to connect it with a structurally connected, living space, so it will be actually, legitimately.
It'll be one, it'll be all one.
One structure,
Structure.
So that's that. I mean, the only thing to be said of it is it won't be expanding any footprint,
Right.
of either foundation. And they're, I've spoken with them, they're aware of modifications that'll have to be made in the lower level of the garage in order to flood-proof it. But other than that, as long as it's, the rest of their house is already elevated above flood elevation. So a substantial improvement determination, if it were to be a substantial improvement, wouldn't have any impact on the primary structure.
You're okay with it?
So if you connect, this is just, and I think I already know the answer to this, but if you were to connect the two and then it's considered one structure, the garage, so then would they be able to use that garage and build off of the garage?
Well, they can
Moving to
anyways.
moving to the east?
Yeah,
Because it's all,
Can,
they
'cause it's existing.
they could,
Yeah.
right, so,
Regardless.
regardless.
Those are those are their footprint, and as far
Right.
as it comes this way, I know it's tight, but that's what they're allowed, they're in there.
Yeah.
It's there.
I'm just gonna bring that up. Alrighty, any other questions from the board?
I don't see any problem with this.
Again, the other thing was this was another lot that's under 5,000 square
5,000,
feet.
Yeah, I saw that. 2 in one night.
I think there were more than that, actually.
There are a lot of those. Was that, I think I had a conversation about this a long time ago, but when there was the fire and it used to be 5,000 and then it moved to 10,000?
Yeah, they
Is
had
this
2
part of
houses.
that whole situation that zoning was changed?
Told me that story about.
Yeah, there's
Marshfield.
2,000
Yeah, I was-
ones down there. There used to be
there's so-
2,300 square foot one down there.
1,000.
Under 5.
Yeah.
They were just different. They just
I don't
cut,
know
they
if you
were
were
all
aware
little
of that.
pieces put together.
There was a, you'll have to research in the history of
Yeah.
Marshfield.
The big fire that changed all the zoning,
Oh, wow.
back then anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting just to Google it and you can see.
When
I
you're
mean,
done with your
it's-
addition.
Yeah, when you're done with your addition and the kids were,
And your family.
all the stuff that you're
41.
doing.
When you take over the space.
It
back.
was, yeah.
I think it was in the
Early
1940s,
40s,
yes,
I think
and
it
it
was the
just,
beginning of the 40s.
yeah,
So Plymouth Ave to Brent Rock, right?
yeah.
That
The
just jumped all
the
the way.
casino, everything,
Yeah.
yep. Believe it or not, there was a casino. And now we are just
That's why they call
rambling.
it
Now
Marsh
we're
Vegas.
wasting everyone's
Maybe.
Now it makes sense.
Now.
Now it makes sense.
One of many reasons.
Yeah. Alrighty, so moving on. So this particular project, I need to just ask and see if there are any comments from the public. Are there any comments from the public? Again, if you're dialing in, you need to press star 6.
Yeah, I'll make a comment. I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
I'm a neighbor with Pat, and he's been, I don't know how long he's lived there, 4 or 5 years now, and he's been doing nothing but improving the property.
Okay.
It looked real nice over there, and I'm for whatever he wants to do.
Excellent. Thank you for that input.
Oh.
Alrighty, so there seems to be no other comments from the public? Again, would you just identify yourself for the record? I already know, but just
Philip
as a,
Murphy.
okay, Philip.
You're a direct abutter too, correct?
Yeah.
So is the board comfortable in closing this?
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay, so there's no other
Issues.
issues with this, okay. All right. I'd like to make a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All right, so this case is closed with a vote of 5-0. Does the board want to deliberate or wait till the end?
I'm ready to go.
I'm good to go.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit in accordance with 305-10.12, acknowledging that the board has reviewed 10.12 and is, and these conditions have been fulfilled, the items 1 through 10. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded to grant the special permit. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All right. So your project has been granted, and good luck.
Thank you.
Nancy
Thank you.
will be back in touch, I'm sure, or feel free to reach out to her as well. All
Thank you
right?
for your time.
You're
Good luck.
welcome. Okay, do we have the applicant here for 2209 for 44 Old Beach Road? Yep. Hi, how are you? Excellent, how are you? Come on up.
Is it this one? Oh, this is one. This one.
I'm going to read it into the record and then get started. So this is 2209 Keith Brannis. The petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct an 8-foot by 28-foot covered farmer's porch with an 11-foot 4-inch run in the middle, which will be 10 feet deep and 3 feet by 36 feet overhang accent roof above the garage doors on the property located at 44 Old Beach Road, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel L100708 and is located in a B3 zoning district. So, we have the deed. We have renderings. Why don't you explain to us what your thoughts are on this project as we go through this?
Sure.
Okay.
So we're asking for a special permit to do some construction on the front of the house. The house is existing non-conforming. The oceanfront side of the house was built into the setback. The construction that we're looking to do is on the opposite side of the house, and it will not add any new non-conformity. What we're looking to do is, there are two things. One is an accent roof above the garage doors. That's the 3-foot by 36-foot accent roof. And then we're trying to make the house look a little more conforming to the rest of the neighborhood. It's a little commercial looking or disjointed compared to the rest of the neighborhood. So we're trying to add a covered porch on the front. So that porch is 28 feet long, it's 8 feet deep, except in the middle, there's an 11-foot 4 section that's like a bump out, and that'll be an additional 2 feet, 2 feet deep. And that's a covered farmer's porch. And that's it.
Okay. So,
And these were the drawings that we submitted for conservation. So there's a lot of landscaping stuff going on there.
let's see what we have here on 229. I'm going to read to you what planning has given us. So the property and other lots along Old Beach Road was rezoned from B2 to an R3. So this is actually an R3. You may be already aware of that. In April of 2001. The majority of the structure is in a VE 19 flood zone with a ground elevation of roughly 17 feet. The remaining portion of the lot is in an A03 flood zone, and the proposal should be checked to see if it meets the maximum building area requirement of 40%. And we just went through that, so you're, okay. The planning department finds that general conditions 7 and 10 under alteration or extension of non-conforming single-family residents, are not met. So this is the exercise that we just did. Is this, are you prepared to, can you help them with this? Or are you prepared to answer the question on that 40%?
I guess not.
Okay.
No, isn't the
Yes.
lot 14,000 square feet?
It
Yeah,
is.
they are
They're
not,
well in there.
they're not over 40%.
It seems like it would be
They certainly are not.
impossible.
It looks,
It's not.
I just didn't want
We
to
have,
answer
we
it
have
for
the
you.
building area, they do have that with the building area and the lot area in this impervious
The
coverage
language,
table.
I mean,
So it's well
It's
under.
fine.
The math is in there.
Mm-hmm.
But even using the human eyeball,
Yeah.
Using the human eyeball, which I'm struggling between
Measurement.
two pairs of glasses, so.
Which eyeball to look at.
not mine though.
The impervious table worked for ZBA this time, you know?
How about that? Some things. I was going to say something about the technology tonight, but I'm afraid to jinx myself. All right, so could we go to the architectural renderings? Thank you. Okay. Any questions from the board? We do have a deed, correct? Can you see it?
Should be on there.
Yes, in this very complete packet. I don't know who did this, but this is,
They should be in
Even
charge of the packets
tabs.
that come in here.
I know, do you need a
Send people to you.
It may
If
have
there's
been the
one
best
thing
I've
I've
ever
learned
seen.
about them since dealing with them, since being the building inspector and now the commissioner, is this
really
thorough.
Yep, we gotta
enjoying.
We gotta do
Well, you
that.
don't realize, when
Thoroughly
we have
impressed.
so much, how much paperwork there is, and I appreciate the work you put to this application.
Yes, we have a deed.
So, all right, so we have the deed. Any further comments from you, Andrew, on this project?
I have no problems with this. It literally is just because it was non-conforming. That's, you know, on that one side is why it has to come here.
Okay. All right, any comments from the public? Again, if you're dialing in, you need to press *6 to be heard. All right, no comments from the public. How does the board feel about closing this case?
I'm good.
Very good. All right, I'd like to make a motion to close case 2209 for 44 Old Beach Road. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor of closing?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All right. So this hearing is closed. Would you like to deliberate or?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Any comments or just go for it?
I'm ready.
All right.
What?
All right, I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit in accordance with 305-10.12, acknowledging that the board has reviewed and is favorable of items 1 through 10 on the special permit. Do I have a second to grant the special permit?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Okay. You are all set.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
nice evening.
Really appreciate it.
Great packet. Want it
For the
back?
booklet.
You want your book back?
You want your binder back?
Oh, I'm gonna save it.
I'm gonna email it for you just to let you know. what
I
the
think we
next
should
steps
give an award at the end of the
Maybe
year
about a
for the
month
best
before we should
packet.
Have this on the website as the
This is a
standard.
reference.
This is the standard.
Oh,
We
okay.
should leave
Yeah,
this
we-
in
he doesn't have to
Nancy's
wait. Now that
office.
they
This
issued
is
it,
what
we
would
can-
be really nice if we could get this.
If we could have this.
You run the risk of.
We've had some nice packets, but this is a
Yeah.
doozy.
I know.
This is a good one.
So, that's why I said, if you want to, we can get going on that tomorrow.
I'm around the corner. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, the wrong. Yeah, okay. So did Greg, so. we'll just clean it up with Greg on the other side.
We'll just wrap it up.
Age is 18. It might not have been 18. Dog.
So we have, so board members, we have case 2212, which is 54 Kent Avenue.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, for this gentleman.
That's Philip.
I thought it was Scotty.
I think we beat it up pretty good.
It appeared to me that this was, Andrew was pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't see any delay.
So what happened? With this, well, we opened case
Yeah, we can just.
for 54 Kent Avenue, 22-12. So would the board like to hear and bring this application through? Or would you like to?
Yeah, I think we're ready, I'm ready, and we just have to throw a couple conditions in there and.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear, go through the actual application.
Sure.
All right. Steve, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you approach the board and we'll give this take two. And if you'd like to sit so the microphone, I don't want you.
Make you feel
You
better.
don't have to sit, but,
Yeah.
okay. So I have already read this into the record. So Andrew is going to take, throw a few things up on the board for us.
I am literally freezing. I just gotta find it on this thing. Okay.
I need my stuff back. So,
Undated consent application.
just as a reminder to the public and to the board, this is case 22-12, 54 Kent Avenue. That was read in, earlier this evening. Look at that, it miraculously has a red line around it. Okay,
Magic.
all right. So your setbacks, your nonconformities. Sorry, everybody.
That on purpose.
You did that on purpose? It's like in the baseball, I'm in the dugout. Okay. We have the deed. Thank you. Okay, so was this one of the projects that Bill Grafton and Concom were commented on?
He didn't really comment, but he sent the orders of conditions for the state and the town.
And that was just part of
And they
his?
decide, yeah.
Yeah, so there were okay. No conditions that you're aware of,
No, he's been down there.
Okay, okay. So, let's just go through it quickly. Before commencing work, obtain all subsequent permits, including Marshfield zoning and buildings. Okay. And then if we could just go to the architecturals. Andrew, thank you. Thanks. So why don't you explain to the, I know I've spent some time looking at it, why don't you explain to the board, based on this rendering, what your proposal is? What stays, what goes, and we'll,
Well, as you're looking at that picture right there, to the far left, the second story, three-season room is what I'm putting on.
underneath it is a three-season room that's under construction as we speak.
Okay.
So, and then I was gonna put in all new windows and raise the floor up to the same height as the existing house, because it was a step down into the three-season room. And then when the house was built in 84, 87, whenever, they used 2x6 rafters for the roof. And so in order to support that roof, to change the flooring and the windows and everything, we're looking at it, and it just wasn't a safe roof system. So I talked to the homeowner, said, well, that's when this came into his mind, maybe we'll take that roof off and put on a flat roof and go up it. And he wants to spend some money, I guess.
Okay. I was gonna say
Love the
something.
Put that second story sunroom on and a little deck.
Okay,
Off
so
the
no
bedroom.
change below that existing deck that you're going up, you're just, you're putting new footings and
All
Everything's
that's
in-
already been done.
all that's
yeah.
been done, okay. All right,
Just closing that space.
They renovated the existing sunroom that was there and
Yes,
fixed
and they just-
and repaired the deck.
it just went up, okay. All right. Are there any comments from the public? No comments from the public? Any further comments from the board?
I am good.
All right. So acknowledging that the planning board did weigh in, and I'm going to I think that they probably didn't have the information that we just received, so I am inclined to move forward as well. Second.
I thought it was connected.
Okay. How are we doing? Are we in a position to close? Are we in a position to
I'm ready.
close?
I'm good.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Unless you have something further to add?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold
no.
on. Hold on.
We have to
You're-
vote.
You need to, well, you can stand at the door and, you getting tired?
I think we should wait
gotta
till
get
the
up
end
and
of the
get
Yeah,
the
let's
meeting.
just hang out here for a little bit.
Couple
Maybe we'll have a
more
little,
hearings.
we'll
Hang
It's to
out.
the end of the.
have a
Bring your
recess.
cup of tea.
And I'm in here.
We're getting a little punchy. So this is case 22-12 for 54 Kent Avenue. I'd like to make a motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor of closing?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Ryan Murphy, aye.
Okay, so this case is closed. I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit in accordance with 305-10.12, acknowledging that the board has reviewed items 1 through 10 in 10.12. Do I have a second to grant the
Second.
special permit?
Second.
Second by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Ryan Murphy, aye.
All right. So you may now, you can go.
Well, we
Thanks
prefer
for
to
Have a
speaking
leave
up.
nice
it till the
evening.
end.
Thank you for
Night.
speaking up, yes. Okay.
Okay.
That's
Done. Is this done?
Moving right
We have
along.
to talk about that one, okay.
Yes. Do we have the applicant here for 2213, 63 Winslow Street?
Who's that?
Mr. Rockwood.
Is that you, Jen?
Which one? Winslow?
63 Winslow? I'm going to read it in the record while you approach the board. 22-13, Teresa Petringa? Petringa. The petitioner is seeking a variance in accordance with 305-10.11 for relief from 305-11.09C6, a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12. to construct a 22-foot by 27-foot rear addition and a special permit in accordance with 305-11.09 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to create an accessory apartment on the property located at 63 Winslow Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel K1001-04 and is located in an R3 zoning district. Okay. There was a little bit of a confusion over the site plan itself. And I want to just clarify that, or have you clarify that. I think it was difficult for us to read.
It was.
So can you explain the 15.4 and above it, it's 19 something or other? Get my other fancy glasses on. So the side setback is 15.
The existing is, let's see. Oh, first of all, yeah, the existing's 18.4, but I'm within 50, I'm outside of my 15-foot setback. So I will be 15.4 feet away from the sideline.
And what about the
You could just be able to see it
bulkhead?
there, right next to that 13 grade number, right there, 15.4.
So what's the distance to the bulkhead, or is that a non,
What's that?
the bulkhead? So it's 15.4 to the corner of the addition, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm fine within my side setback. The only reason here is my left side is non-conforming.
Okay.
Other than that, that whole structure is now conforming. And bulkheads can go within half of the setback,
Okay.
so.
So the planning board, Dick, would you, this is planning board's comment, I don't know if you've seen it yet,
No, it came in this afternoon.
so I just would like the applicant, want to take it's circled at the bottom.
What was this?
This is from planning, I just circled it, that's my note.
Andrew's checking it.
Accessory.
He was cheating on
Non-conforming single-family structures are not met.
the land.
That's good.
And they're not met for what reasons?
Cheat, oh, I get it, cheating over it.
I know we're going to go through that. Do you have a chance to look at where's,
Our issues.
Single-family residents are not always.
Is it working now?
my, yes.
What do you want? You
So,
packed it?
no, I'm missing the bylaws.
Oh.
Dun, dun.
Bylaws.
You can pull them up.
So
up there.
planning department does not support this application for a variance for an accessory apartment as submitted. Finds that the variance conditions 1 and 5 are not met and the general conditions 7 and 10 under alteration or extension of non-conforming single-family residence are not met. So if we could pull up the accessory apartment bylaw. I don't have my form.
This is like the bounces.
What's that? I know.
What article?
1109.
It is,
Shouldn't it be in here?
yeah. 1109
Probably C.
C6.
That's
C6
kind of
is the
creepy that you know
3-year-old.
that.
What?
C6 is
1109
the
C6
3-year.
right here.
But what were the-
C6 is the 3-year. And the comment is, conditions 1 and 5 are not met.
Special permit, 305,
I want to look at Bob's
305,
comments.
You mean for a
Marshfield
variance?
to create an
Yes.
accessory apartment.
Oh, he's talking about.
Right here?
Here you go.
The planning board comments to each
It's the
file.
circled one.
Do you want to read
We're
this?
just gonna work through this for a minute.
Shocking.
What was that? My answer is dash. Ta-da. Are we looking at the variance
Yes.
standards?
For accessories?
It's near Nazarella
Number
Farms,
one.
Roxana's R3.
That's unique to the applicant.
Part of the neighborhood.
You can have the accessory apartment thing, right?
Yes.
I don't,
The proposed apartment will be located in the northerly side setback, which is a new nonconformity and requires a variance.
it's, well, they didn't
You could address
understand that
that.
dimension.
And that's the 19.2 and now
Right.
15.4. Am I correct?
It's 15.4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the bulkhead and the relationship to the side setback, Andrew? What's the rule with the bulkheads?
It's not a bulkhead, actually.
It's not a bulkhead?
It's a stoop, which is the,
Stoop.
it's a landing to walk out the door.
Oh, okay.
So whoever picked it up on the survey drawing picked it up as a bulkhead, and I didn't pick that up.
So we'll just make.
But even if it was a bulkhead can go half of the
half
sideline
the side
setback.
setback, which would
So
mean-
7.5 feet.
I didn't know what the size of the bulkhead was, but, okay.
But that,
Even a,
Visually, okay.
that's just a landing, there's a
That
door
can-
right there to
that's
walk in.
fine.
Okay.
So,
So it's just a pad?
yeah, it's just a pad, yeah.
So then, for this particular case, the comment from planning is reflecting the same confusion that we had with the 19.4. Is that everybody else's impression? Bob, is that your impression?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And did we see the architecturals? This? Thank you. So want to just explain to the board?
It's a simple one-story addition off the back of the house.
Okay.
So, no
Is
reason.
that the bulkhead it was just pointed to?
It's not a bulkhead, it's actually a concrete landing to walk in that door.
Is the bulkhead depicted on your plans?
Incorrectly, Bob.
Incorrectly on the site plan, it's calling it a bulkhead, but it's not a bulkhead. It's the rectangle, that rectangle is supposed to be just a concrete pad.
Okay.
So
So
it-
there's no bulkhead at all?
There's no bulkhead, no, that was,
We'll just condition it to
right,
be
it's right here.
edited.
You see it right here in the plan?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
but if it was a bulkhead, it would be allowed to be there because,
I agree.
Yeah,
I
okay.
agree that if it was a bulkhead, it would be allowed to extend into that setback.
Okay. And we have the deed, correct? Thank you. So this accessory unit, the 40%. The lot size, everything else complies, correct?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, lot size is 10,500.
Yep, okay. And the owner is aware of the annual and all the?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
And they're also aware the variance is due to the change in the town meeting,
yes.
and we're, okay. He's reading my mind, did you notice that?
Psychic connection there.
Okay.
Kind of scary.
Okay. So section 305-11.9 outlines the bylaw for residential accessory apartments, and that was what I was just referring to. So we are waiting for AG approval and hence the variance. We would insert the standard conditions for accessory apartments as we go towards the process of deliberating. Can you remind me on that?
Say that again.
The
the
standard
AG, okay.
conditions for accessory apartments. A, B,
We're
and
just
C.
doing the variance for the 3-year waiting period.
Yes, correct.
Everything else,
Everything else?
How long?
we got rid of it, but it hasn't been approved.
We just have to wait. How
So why
long,
wouldn't they-
Bob, how long until that is
Yeah, I mean,
completed?
Seems
With
like
H-
they're crazy to have to go through this.
What's your expectation?
I don't know when Reese submitted those to the Attorney General's office, but I don't think it's been approved yet.
Okay.
How long does it take once it's approved? I mean, how long do they normally take to approve it?
Yes, so item number, just so the public is aware, item number 6, that was part of our bylaw, has been eliminated, and that was the dwelling must be in existence and not substantially altered for a period of 3 years prior to the filing of the application for special permit. And that was changed in town meeting this past fall, so that's what we're talking about for those listening in. Okay, any further comments?
No,
No.
not I.
All right. Bob, do you have any further comments?
I do not.
Okay, this shed will remain on the property?
Yes.
Okay, so we will not
Please.
endorse the shed. Okay. Anything else?
It's a good thing we don't ask Andrew to look for problem sheds.
No, good luck.
This would be a, yeah.
Believe me, enough people do.
All right. So, I'd like to ask the public if they have any comments. Again, press *6 if you're dialing in. All right. There being none, I would like to move that the case 22-13 for 63 Winslow Street be closed. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi Conway. All those in favor of closing?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Okay. So, we have the variance in accordance with 305-10.11 for relief from 305-11.09 and the special permit for 305-10.12. So I'm going to make a motion to grant the variance. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve? Okay, so that is granted, and acknowledging that the board is not endorsing that shed. I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 and in accordance with 305-11.09, as we just went over. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
And Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All right. Okay. So both the special permit were approved and the variance,
Thank you.
as we just described. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna hold. Last but not least.
Has to be. Go on last.
Are you
Maybe we
last?
should take
Oh,
like
Yeah,
a
they come-
25-minute break and then.
Yeah.
Joe, are you here
We're all a little punchy tonight.
Why are you here?
What do you mean?
So it's just enough time to get
Oh,
the pizza.
Yeah, be bad.
Oh, well, you're right. We
We
do
have
have
two.
two. I apologize.
You did say that in a
Stand to
meeting.
be corrected. So we have 22-14, which is 535 Plain Street. Okay, would you like to approach the board? And I'm going to read this into the record. The petitioner is seeking a site plan, this is Brightway Auto Wash. The petitioner is seeking a site plan approval in accordance with 305-12.02 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to install 2 automatic kiosk-style pay stations with concrete pad, canopies, wiring, and related accessories on the property located at 535 Plain Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel E10-01-11 and is located in a B2 zoning district. So, we have a response from planning, and I also understand that you have a current DEP groundwater discharge permit
We do.
and a WRPD permit for this property
Yes.
in place, okay. And their recommendation was that this wouldn't trigger a planning board review. So that is the response from planning. Was there a response from Concom?
We have a negative determination from them.
You have a negative
Yes, we met.
determination.
Yeah, we met last week.
I think it was.
Okay.
same
They gave
thing,
us a
notice of
permit.
conditions.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Post conservation markers as needed on the existing split rail fence to provide added protection and awareness of the proximity to the wetlands. That's fine, it's out of our scope. All pertinent permits, which is, you're in front of us for. Okay. Would you like to explain the project?
Yeah, I'll explain the lighter side of it, then I'll let him
Okay.
take the heavy.
Okay, sounds good.
So this has been family operated for, since my dad was my age. My brother and I recently took over, and needless to say, it needed some updates. So we took the summer, updated it. This is hopefully one of the last updates that we're going to be doing. Automatic pay stations basically allows it so instead of our cars always piling up right onto that busy road, this allows it to kind of hurry up that process and get cars from sitting there through the tunnel quicker. And more organized and just easier on myself and my employees. So that's kind of the purpose of that.
So the kiosk will be at, if Andrew could just identify that area right there, correct?
That's
And then
correct.
the folks would pay and then go into the,
Yeah, it's a
Right
gated
around the
system.
bend.
yep.
So it's like they'll pay and then they'll open and they have to drive through over like a loop sensor and then another one will open.
It'll take a while for folks to,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
Still
Well,
gonna have it manned, right? There's still gonna be somebody there, right?
we'll have someone out there for the beginning, but a lot of cars we started putting stickers on them, and because they sign up for like different plans, so it's actually gonna make it even easier because they don't even have to roll down their window. It'll scan it and just we'll drive
Oh,
right through.
Interesting.
And we'll have cameras placed inside the tunnel with they call car pics, so it takes a picture of the car when it drives through, or when it's like at the pay station, so someone will always have eyes of what's happening out there. So if someone does have a question or something on a slow day, we can open up the gate manually and they can pull right in.
Okay. All right.
So that's the lighter side. I'll let him take the heavy stuff now.
Yeah, I noticed protection of historic character. There were other things in this application. So if you'd like to share all of that with us.
Sounds good. My name's Dave Crispin, civil engineer and land surveyor with the BSC Group. The short story on this is if you've been through the car wash, you know you go up to the back door and you hand them a credit card. That process is going to change to the kiosk. Doesn't change the capacity, doesn't change the footprint of the building, doesn't change the imperviousness, doesn't change the drainage, doesn't change much of anything. In this plan, there's two things shown there. The dotted rectangular, which is about the size of two cars parked, so the corner of this room.
Okay.
It's already paved, it's well inside the pavement, and they're gonna, because of what they're doing, they're gonna replace it with a concrete pad that will put curbs and the card readers and whatnot on there. The rest of that, all that cross-hatching, pavement marking. That's all it is pavement marking.
Okay.
So it's a very small alteration, and there's some dots around the edge of pavement marking, which are basically traffic cones. Get people going in the right spot. When the snow comes, he picks cones up, moves them out of the way, and puts them back and gets it going. Really very short. We understand the contract will probably be done in a couple of weeks when he
Yeah,
does it. It's really
doesn't
very-
take long.
Very quick process. So that's why Conservation said we don't need a permit for this. No drainage, we put some erosion controls around the downstream end of it, and everything stays the same. This is about a 3.9 acre piece of property, so we're in one little corner of it up there. We did show the whole active portion of the site on the plan, but it's really much bigger than that. And from a visual point of view, no one can see it because that whole bottom right side and bottom half is all woods. Nobody can see it from out there. You can't see this from the street. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
And the improvements he referred to just recently was a replacement of the recharge system for the wastewater. Went about 20 years or so and had to be replaced, so they did that last fall.
Yeah, my dad sold it to us right in time.
Yeah.
And they fixed the roof, too.
Yeah, we fixed the roof too.
So basically, you're just modernizing your process.
It's a modernization
Yeah.
process, doesn't change capacity at all.
You're staying right within all the footprint that you're already utilizing,
Yep.
right? Cars are already driving over that spot right there.
It's all paved.
Every day.
So are you gonna have less employees now that you have this system?
To be honest with you, no. Mainly because, so let's say on my busiest days I have 3. I'm still gonna have 1 out there in the pay stations and making sure they can answer questions and whatnot. But what this is gonna do is make my hiring process that much easier. I mean, right now, trying to find someone, I've gone through 4 people just because they come in, walk in the door, so they want to work, and then they leave. You know, it's this not the job for them. So this is gonna make it a little bit easier. I can have more high school kids because now they're not handling money, so it's, you know, a little bit less responsibility on their shoulders, you know. Everyone knows how to use a credit card in terms of, you know, training wise, so the end of the day, not really, but it's just gonna make the hiring process easier. So,
So as soon as the ground is ready, he'd love to get started.
yeah, very much.
So no additional signage or anything like that?
No. There's a picture in that you were just looking at of what this looks like.
Yeah, it looks like.
That's a colored rendering of that plan, makes the concrete patch stand out a little better in the yellow.
Okay, no changes in site lighting are proposed because this is a site plan.
Other than the lights that are physically on the card readers themselves.
That's the picture of what they look like and everything that'll be there.
Like you're pulling into a parking garage.
Basically, yeah, exactly that.
Face machine.
Just with a clean car at the end of it.
Yeah.
So this is located in a B2 zoning district, and your comment was the site is not, if it was in the B1 zoning district, it would be, but this is not in the B1 zone. Okay. Identifies the application, identifies the following spaces: employee, visitors 11, vacuums 9, brushless wash bay 7, bay wash, blah, 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 loading area, panel truck 1, total parking, queuing available are 47 spaces. So does that mean there's 47 spaces from the kiosk? How does that?
That includes what is actually marked as parking spaces and what's waiting in line to go into the,
Marked as, so what's out in front with the vacuums and all of that?
there's marked
and
ones out
then-
front, there's some on the side, there's some in the back corner, they're hidden around, and
Yeah.
but that's a queuing count coming in.
Okay,
Yeah, we can process about 125 an hour.
okay. Parking exceeds the 1 space per 1,000 square feet of your building, which we would agree is correct. The site uses very few parking spaces. All right. You sweep pavements twice a year, litter pickup, site for evidence of erosion, maintain grass shoulders, and that site is a very clean site, so. Any other comments from the board? I'm just going through section 12.02 in the bylaws.
No.
All right, any questions from the public? Again, press star 6. All right. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to close case 22-14. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
All right, case 22-14 is closed. Are there any special conditions? I just want to take a peek at Bob's. The applicant did provide detail, excuse me,
Have to bring
detailed
lollipops back.
response to items 1 through 10 for 305-12.02F and our site plan approval. All right. Any special conditions? I don't see any. Nope. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit. Sorry, site plan. I knew I was saying that wrong. Thank you. The site plan approval in accordance with 305-12.02. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Oh, Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
All right, so you are all set.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good.
You just have to promise you will change the front of that building.
The what?
The front of that building.
The front of it?
The Art Deco and the stainless, that was a Peter Whitman.
Oh, really?
Oh, we would never change that. We would never change that. That one car wash of the
5 years ago?
yeah, no, that one car wash of the year for like 5 years straight, like architecture wise.
That was Peter Whitman's
Yeah.
concept. I did the drawings for it, but
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
he did this whole dissertation, it's like the car hop.
Like the McDonald's, yeah, like a thing.
And he got into this whole Art Deco thing with the radiator up above.
It's like a
Yeah.
Marshfield history lesson tonight, huh?
Yeah, no, Pete's.
No, that one like car wash architecture or something like that for like 5 years running when they built it. So
Really?
we'd never
I didn't
change it.
know
Yeah,
that.
Is
yeah.
it car wash
Yeah.
architect?
See, what-
So
It is great to see
yeah,
a
where
family
do you,
business.
What
if
is
we
that?
Google that, is there
Is that a
actually?
thing?
no, so there's like the ICA International Car Wash
Like,
Association,
that's a thing?
The New England Car Wash Association.
Shut
I don't know if we
up.
go that far back, but yeah, no, yeah.
That's so funny.
We're a huge community. We're silent.
Not in my driveway. A lot of salt on the road this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Awesome. We'll take care.
All right,
everyone.
thank you.
very much.
Appreciate your time.
Cute.
Me again.
Here
Wait a minute,
again.
who is this? What's
It's
this?
Dick.
It's Hilltop,
That's what he's doing?
yes,
Wait a
yes.
minute. Okay, so we did this?
Okay. Do you want to stretch your legs, everybody, or we're just gonna, we're
No, I'm
almost
ready
done?
to go.
Okay.
No, that's still with the key, remember?
Oh, we're gonna,
Yeah,
Finish it
McNeil,
at the end.
yeah, at the end,
oh, I
we'll.
thought that he was doing that.
He is.
So,
All right, I'm so
yes,
confused here.
20, we're on 22-15, which is Hilltop Property Group LLC. Petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12 and 305-13.02 of the Marshfield Municipal Code to construct a 44-foot by 30-foot, 2.5-story dwelling on a 10-foot and a 10-foot by 30-foot deck on the property located at 77 Cherry Street, which is further identified on the assessor's maps as being on parcel M0609-04A and M06-09-10 and is located in an R3 zoning district. Okay, identify yourself for the record. And let's hear what you have to say about this project.
Ready for me?
Yep, go
I'm Dick
ahead.
Rockwood. I did the architectural design for this project. We've been approved at Conservation months ago. There's an existing small house, and I don't know what you have to pull up there. The owner had done this application, and I'm hopping in. So
Okay.
you can just barely make it out on that drawing, but in the lower left-hand corner was the existing structure. I yellowed it on this drawing right here. You see where it says existing house, in that lower left-hand corner?
Oh, right there, yeah, okay.
Right, and that rectangle in gray, that is the existing structure that had been there.
Oh, okay.
All right, so our new house is actually conforming. And there was The lot is actually a large enough lot for the area, but there was some issue about this original lot versus the other parcels that connected with it. And I think that the legal stuff has all been done on that, and the deed reads right, but there was nothing at the assessor's office that showed it as that larger parcel.
Shows us.
So.
There was no Form A
There-
or anything.
Well, I think it's all been done, but there was no, I don't know
No
what the
formal,
procedure would be, a
okay.
Form A lot or whatever. So, doing it on the basis of a non-conforming lot, the house conforms, which really wouldn't require a special permit unless the lot was undersized. So, if we call it undersized lot, special permit, the house conforms, either way.
Okay.
And if all the paperwork was in order, they actually have the 10,000 square foot lot, or whatever they,
So is that
So
the
17,000
owner's
square feet.
unknown parcel, they own that?
So we're looking at,
I could not find the plan that I have seen that showed the land going down on the back. I don't know if it was just this, but I thought it was an odd shape of various parcels that I had seen. Now, this here says it's a 17,870 square foot lot. It's an R3 zone.
Right.
So is the existing house still there right now?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
At least the last time I drove by.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
I tell everybody,
Not
don't
looking
tear
really.
it down until you get a permit to build.
Don't touch.
The clock starts ticking, so,
We can give
not
examples.
that everybody takes my advice, so. The other issue, Andrew, I think that was applied for was about the,
Where's that answer, Anthony?
what's the term again? The
Coastal Wetlands District?
coastal wetland,
1302 or 1301, was it an
Right.
inland wetland?
As long as they're in the same one.
which,
Right, but they said they were merged.
which my understanding is this map here.
His email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's right there.
Yeah. yes.
Saved an email tonight, because he answered 1302,
Oh,
2, 3,
right,
and 4.
yeah, I have that.
Talking about Tony's
Coastal
email
Wetlands Overlay District.
on the merger?
No, I sent that to you guys earlier.
Yeah.
What are we talking
And-
about?
Tony's merger email?
Yeah, and apparently that's come up more because of some other projects, but in the past, I've done all kinds of projects down in that area
Yeah.
on Island Street, and it was sort of a non-issue.
So then
Ranch
if we
Street, I had done
conditioned
some.
it to have them merged, or what is?
No, it's done.
So what if we,
Bob, Tony said earlier that, obviously, the properties are merged.
General rule.
The doctrine of merger applies.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what's merged with what.
That's,
there's two parcel IDs on this property? And the
Yeah.
argument is those two properties, two parcels.
Any two properties that are contiguous to one another in the same ownership merge for zoning purposes.
So would we condition that?
Well, I don't know what's merged. What is merged on the plan? I need to see it because I didn't see this.
yeah, they don't have the original two pieces.
Well, you can see it right through the center. You can see where
Well,
the
see
Z is,
Z in
the parcel
middle?
line.
The
Yep,
Z in the middle indicates that those two lots have merged.
Merged
It's
right.
one lot.
exactly.
Oh, the Z, okay.
Yep, that's
So we don't
right
have
there.
to state that, that's just.
They've already done it.
I understand.
Okay, well,
They already did it,
The
it just
assessors
wasn't,
didn't-
it wasn't registered with the assessors. The
Okay.
assessors hadn't recognized it yet. So the assessors were recognizing it as two different parcels. So the initial thing, with the previous owner, the discussion was, how do we get them combined? And so they went through that whole process, because without combining them, when they just had the one parcel, it was a non-conforming structure and a non-conforming lot. But by combining the parcels, they were able to get the square footage. What then became the issue is the percentage of uplands on the lot.
When you combine them.
When you combine them.
It's
Remaining
still
debris.
pre-existing non-conforming, it works.
No, they've made it different because it's not the same lot.
And now it's new characteristics now. Is that how?
But it's still an existing house. He still has his existing house there.
Yeah, but it now involves another property.
But they still have the rights on the existing structure, those setbacks. The only thing is they have to the right side of it more distance to equal
If
their
they've
15
created
feet.
some additional issues to them as a result of combining that lot with the abutting lot, then they have new issues.
But they didn't. Now you're conforming it with the size of the lot. You're meeting your
Size of
setbacks and
lot.
everything else. Size of.
Size of lot.
Right. The memo that I wrote mostly addressed the coastal wetlands issues.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the only other comment, so we've got the coastal wetland, and then we've got planning department, which is back to the, hilltop properties in R3 district and AE 12 flood zone. Ground elevation is roughly elevation 7 feet. The property is also in the coastal wetland overlay zoning of the zoning map. So the I don't know, roughly 44.6% of the lot is in the coastal wetland zone. Will the existing structure be removed? Those are comments from planning. So if it's in the coastal wetlands,
Mr. Keach actually emailed some responses to 1302-223.
Who did?
Mr. Keach, Hilltop.
oh, okay. And do I have those, or do we have those?
I didn't get them till I came back right before the meeting. I saved it to the file up.
Okay, so maybe we can pull, is that it?
This is it, right here.
Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Thank you.
But it doesn't change the requirements of 1302.
What's the second thing say at the very beginning before erosion
I'm
control?
missing the last two.
Silt socks.
Here's the last page of Bob's. I think he has 26 pages, and I
28.
end on 24.
He said 28. Yes, this one too.
Almost
On page 23 of my memo, I asked a couple of questions, whether there'd be dumping, filling, excavating, transferring fill, because those things are all forbidden. And if there's any drainage improvements on the site, you need a special permit for that. And then there's some procedural requirements. And then you apply the general special permit criteria of section 1010 before you permit this. I mean, it's almost inconceivable to me that anybody would try to fill the site some way, but it's not allowed, so that has to be a prohibition.
Number 2. So what is your impression of
The
1302?
area where we're building is flat,
Okay.
where this house
You're not
is.
dumping or filling.
And we're not
Yeah.
doing any filling or cutting anything. We're not changing the grade. We're putting the house on piles.
Okay.
But you're gonna, but I mean, it's necessarily a part of the construction, I mean, there's gonna be some alteration in the area, I would think. I mean, I'm not a contractor, Brian could probably speak to more, but, if there's anything that's disturbed outside of I mean, where you're building this isn't where there's a house now.
There is a house there.
No, the new
No,
area
the
you're
new
working in.
area
Or the
is
new
the,
area is not the same footprint, you're working in a different area of the site.
You're going,
You're
well,
going
I'm
up.
guessing north, but I'm not sure where
The corner of it.
Where the new house is proposed is currently a big gravel driveway.
Right.
It's all big, flat, open gravel driveway in front of the existing house. And the new house is proposed, it's gonna be on driven piles, wooden driven piles elevated above, design flood elevation. The only disturbance really will ultimately be from the demolition and, of the existing structure and any,
Be leveled.
leveling that has to
It's
happen
got a little
there.
bit of a crawl space, like 3 feet, and
Yeah.
it'll just be all level.
The big thing is ultimately, the relief that they're looking to get is from the area restrictions of the coastal wetlands bylaw. As far as the drainage and all that other stuff, they have addressed all of that through the order of conditions with Conservation Commission and everything. So I think that that's kind of meets that spirit of the bylaw of what they're trying to get.
Can I just share my screen
Sure.
for 1 second?
He's getting to it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it's a bigger picture of Bob. And the same thing.
Yep.
And it's a black screen.
Almost down to the wire.
Okay, now.
Come on.
Okay,
There
now.
we go.
Yep.
There
Can
you
you
go.
guys see that now?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
So I assume that the house is going somewhere in here and
Right
these
there.
trees.
Yes.
And this is all gonna disappear, so that's what I was speaking about when you're talking about the natural features of the site. So if you're gonna fashion some conditions, you should address the standard trees along the front. These trees here obviously look like they're gone when this is done, and I assume that's the shed that's like on the boundary line of those 2 lots. So, just a thought, the board should make some decision as to what's to happen with this standard trees, and that one obviously has to go.
Right.
So,
When was that aerial taken, Bob? I was down there today. I think those trees are gone.
I don't remember them
2020
being
at the
there for,
bottom.
Yeah, that's a pretty
2 years
clear
ago.
lot.
I can bring up something.
2020.
Yeah.
You wanna bring up the current?
it's, that image is a Google Earth photo from
10/17/20.
October 2020.
Yep.
I can get one from.
Andrew can bring up the current one, Bob.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna take my screen down then.
Okay, thanks.
That's a better screen there. Patty, can you explain what you see?
Gee, it's only 8:30.
Shush. Fun. Love this stuff.
You love this stuff?
I do. People are.
That's why you're on zoning.
No, is it? No. Okay, I'll go with
I
that.
love this stuff.
So intrusive, though.
I think this is the first time you've done this for us.
Oh, no, he did this
No,
on
before, once before.
3A. You were
I'm-
recused.
Oh, I was
I
recused.
think you were, Lynn.
Don't say anything.
Fun thing is always to see what I was last looking at. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, Andrew.
All right, what are we, where are we? This is. And, sorry, we're outside of town.
I think we all know our
In the
town
areas
so
of
well.
Cherry Street,
Big Brother's watching.
always. Watch this, I'm wrong, get out of there.
We have a big town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is October of 2021, and the trees were still there, so
So they're gone now.
they're gone now, yeah.
They're not there right
Bill
now.
Grafton. Don't tell Bill Grafton.
Uh, I didn't see him.
He's probably
I
right
haven't
around
been there
there.
in 2 years. I remember them then. I remember looking at the house across the street, so.
Why can't we just say is the trees can be removed?
October 20. Yeah, so that
If
must
the
be there.
tree-
So
Well, you
then
have
That
This
impressive,
one and
whatever
this
they are.
one.
Which ones?
We'll just ask that they leave the shadow to remain.
Oh, man.
So what does that mean we need to do with that?
Well,
How can you,
it also provides a buffer.
I don't see
too,
the
but-
trees on the plan. So,
They're just not
Shed to be
depicted on the
removed.
plan.
yeah. I don't
They
think they're
need-
There's the
depicted on the
25-foot
ground either.
buffer, right? I can't tell.
yeah,
What's that?
I don't think they're depicted on the ground.
5-foot buffer goes up, but is that a?
I'm getting dizzy.
Parcel line, I know, I get parcel line.
All right, so I think we got that squared away. What was the next question?
So what are we doing with the standard trees?
The stand of trees.
what is the standard
Stand
tree?
of trees.
What is the standard tree?
I said the stand, that just means.
Oh, I
group,
think
group,
the
you know.
standard
The group
amount
of
trees.
trees.
Oh, like, what exactly does that mean?
I would just say we'll accept the plan as it shows no trees.
Do we need to?
Identify the trees on the plot plan?
Or can we just say that
So
they
you're
can
saying,
remove
you're
them if
saying
they
there are no
have to?
trees there?
As
There's no
part
trees?
of
I
what
haven't
they
You have
been
no
there
idea.
for
Oh,
a
you
while.
haven't been there in a while. Oh, all right.
Do they have to cut them down to get in and out of there?
No, it's big enough. Jesus. besides-
Seems pretty accessible already.
I know.
Yeah,
So I would say, you know, that
So
the
it's a pretty
existing
wide
trees
area
that are
there.
current will remain. Does that hurt anyone?
He's looking to see what Bill had.
I mean, he wouldn't have really.
Replaced in like kind on the
If it
property.
needs
I
to be
mean, the
removed.
fellow's doing a nice home there, not to
Yeah, I know.
trash it. If the trees are junk, I
Right.
don't know. I really.
Or any unhealthy trees to be removed, others to stay.
Replace with them in kind or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And
all marsh
planning,
around
what
the
did
back of
planning
it.
say?
And it's all left
Would they
natural.
care-
With
yeah.
conservation, nothing will be touched there. It's got all the markers in,
Yeah.
so, you know, it's hands off.
The silt socks
There was a
already
lot
in
of
place.
phragmites back there,
Yeah.
but she got permission to clean them out.
Those are
Trees?
weeds.
No? Right.
Oh, I know.
Don't start.
Yeah. Maybe just say that at
Do they
least have
care if you
the trees, if they're
have to
removed,
replace trees down?
be replaced with minimal
Like this-
quality
what's
of
his
the
name?
Charlie
3
Brown
caliber.
Christmas tree, something
There you
like
go.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a little specific response to it, to replace them with.
Can we, yeah,
Something
can we
that's-
give you some kind of a response, independent, I mean, after the fact?
Yes, I think that would be
Yeah, we'll
appropriate.
address it to,
So they would come back to the, if the circumstances arise, the
Then come
applicant
back.
would come back as a minor modification to
modification.
identify.
show what we're going to do,
what
right.
landscape to replacement.
So we put that in there, that they would
Right.
be able to
Yeah,
correct it
I
as a
think that we would
minor?
probably condition
Or just
that.
condition it.
Yeah. So whether it's on the
That
ground
way,
today.
there's a history
Right.
of what we did. Does that make sense, Bob?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Is there any, make sure to see if there's any abutters, because
Yeah,
this has been an area with some
Concern.
significant controversy.
I agree. Any questions from the public?
We got a couple of people on there.
Real quick.
Could you please,
Hello?
hello? So we can.
Yes, this is my,
Yeah, yes,
yes,
just,
my name, this is Tom Gary. I live at 86 Cherry Street. I'm in a butter. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, thank you for your time. Concerning the trees, I'm glad you brought it up. I just want to confirm that the trees that are on the street frontage will not be removed. And that you're just addressing the trees that are on within the interior of the property. Is that correct?
We were if I understand the board correctly, we were addressing the trees along Cherry Street.
Yeah, no.
No what?
So you're not addressing the trees. You are or you aren't?
We are addressing the trees on Cherry Street within their property line.
Okay, so the trees that are on the street property line will remain.
If they don't own it and it's not part of their parcel, then that's out of our preview.
Okay, so there are,
If they're
it's right on the
town-owned.
town line, right on the town
That's my
property.
understanding. Is that correct, Bob?
Well, you can't tell because they're not located on the site plan as to whether they're on the site or not, but the board could, impose a condition that to the extent that they're on this site, that they shall remain if that's what the board chooses to do.
Yeah, those trees have been there for a long time. Obviously, it's a small, narrow street. Most of you folks have been there. It's a good buffer zone. It also provides a buffer from the noise from the town pier during the summer, and will obviously shade. And in the winter, it helps with snow flow as well.
Okay. And it is a tough area to get a tree to grow, so if there are existing trees, I can see your argument. Okay, are there any other
Yes, like
comments?
Bob
Do
said.
you have anything else? Tom? Chad?
No, thank you. That's
Okay.
it. And I think there's some other butters as well that are concerned about those trees.
Okay.
Well, there's a Marty up there.
Yes.
So Tom, would you please identify yourself for the record?
Sure.
Sure, Tom Gary,
Oh,
Tom Gary, 86 Cherry Street. I'm directly across the street.
Okay, have you said what you needed to say, Tom?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, you can mute yourself, thank you. And is there anybody else that would like to speak?
yes, my name is Marty Lyden. I'm in a butter at 89 Cherry Street, right next door.
Okay,
And I just want to reiterate what Mr. Gary said, and that is that those trees have been there for quite a long time. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, the previous owners took down some trees that Mr. Grafton was very upset about. And I believe that he, may have documented that as well. So we'd like to see those trees remain just because of the fact that they are a buffer, and the houses are very close there as well. But you might want to just, I don't know if it's proper or not, to just find out from Mr. Grafton what he said and what he may have advised in that case.
okay.
The owner says he's fine with keeping the trees there.
Okay, very
The new
good.
owner.
So, both Tom and Marty, the new owner has agreed with your argument, so if the board goes to deliberate, we will take that into consideration.
Thank you.
All right,
Anyone
thank you
else?
for your time. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Is there any more than those two guys?
Yes, Michael Castro at 90 Cherry Street.
Okay, Michael, what would you like to say?
I just had a question and possibly also a comment. If this should be approved, the question, Mr. Gary brought up the fact that it's a narrow street. And there's been examples in the last few years where there's been construction vehicles working on the street. And we'd ask that there be some kind of coordination with people that live on the street. If construction is going to be taking place, that the street's not going to be blocked without some sort of, cooperative consideration for the neighbors. Because it is such a narrow street, and we ran into situations where the street was blocked for hours and unable to exit the street. And also, the question would be, would the construction vehicles be stored on the site, actually on the site, as opposed to in the street, should this project be approved?
Okay, I don't have the answer to that, but I know there are some regulations. Maybe Andrew could share some of
there's
the...
overnight street parking regulations, but that's under the police regulations. I certainly don't see why the board couldn't condition that all vehicles, construction-related vehicles, are to remain on site and, not be, or, I don't see why they
would need to be on
yeah.
the street.
Exactly. Or you can condition some sort of, even if they, if they have to block the street for a certain amount of time, they've got to get a police detail or something,
Can you,
Notice to the neighbors
can
or
you
something.
share with the public the restrictions on the timing for construction on the weekends and what's allowed when you issue a building permit?
There are really no restrictions as far as that goes. Ultimately, it comes down to the state's restrictions, but Marshfield doesn't have any specific restrictions. I think the state restrictions are like 7 to 9 or something like that. You know, it comes to ultimately the responding officer's reasonable
Right.
discretion of what is a disturbance, so.
Right. I'm aware of that, I just was.
Okay.
So
Mindful.
we would have to be mindful, and I would appreciate if the applicant and their team of, that's working on the project would also be mindful of the neighbors. Are there any other comments by the public?
Is there any more up there, Andrew, or is that it?
No, but the other thing I could also say to these residents is, you know, if they have problems with any construction that's going on, to definitely call my office and we can assist in resolving any of those issues.
Right.
Just maybe talk to their neighbor.
Yeah, this is Tom Gary. I do have one more question. I appreciate it.
Sure,
What-
Tom.
What are the standard work hours allowed to work on the property?
Well, that's what the building commissioner was just discussing, so they're really, this town of Marshfield,
No, we don't have any.
we don't have, the state has some, but the town of Marshfield is not restrictive in those areas.
Was that there was a noise?
There is it with subdivisions and things like that, I think, but not
Okay.
general
I
residential.
mean, just everybody's neighbors, just everybody, play nice in the sandbox.
But I think that the best practice is communication, so,
The board could impose some, though, if you wished as a condition.
okay.
My concern is that if they work 7 days a week, or they take weekends off, or they start, if we could have some general guidelines, would probably be appreciated.
Okay. We'll take that into consideration and deliberation. Thank you for your time. Is there
Thank you.
anybody else? Tom, you're all set, right? That's it?
Yes, I am, thank you.
Okay, very good. You can mute yourself. Any other comments? No. All right. Any comments from the board?
I don't have any.
You took a lot of notes in
I did
regards
take
to
a lot of
that.
notes.
I'm sure Nancy took notes as well. Any other things you would like to add for the applicant in relationship to this? I know he had a
No,
response on the trees.
It's obvious some of the trees looks like they're, off of the property line. I'm just looking at a photograph, it's hard to tell.
Okay,
But he has no intent of taking them down. He knows that they're important now to the neighbors.
okay.
Probably a nice screen for his house, too.
Yeah, it's a nice screen, but realizing the importance to them of the sound
Okay.
and all that,
Okay.
you definitely take that into consideration. Our parking and trying to build the house and not being on the street at all, we're kind of locked into some of that wetlands as far as
So the
markers,
spacing
or
may be a little bit
maybe
of a
there can be
challenge.
some discussion about, enhancing on it a little bit and refurbishing it. We can check with conservation, but
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
think
I
that that
can't
was
answer that.
something, that's beyond, I would think that that's something beyond the purview of the board to
Right.
get involved.
But we obviously
they
know
can't
the
be
neighbor's
blocking the street.
concerns, so
Are you in communication with the owner there? on your
I
phone?
am, on occasion, yes.
Did you see if he'd be willing to some type of construction timeline during the day and weekends and whatnot?
Yeah, I'll let him, I think he might be on the meeting, I don't know, we'll find out.
Yep.
So,
All right, thank you. So the comments from Bob were in relationship to 13.02 and not taking final action until we have a report from the Board of Health, Conservation Commission, Planning Board, or until 30 days have elapsed after receipt of such plans. Nancy, where do we stand with the Board of Health?
They had no comments on anything.
No comments. Conservation we have. Building commissioners offered us his impressions, and planning board responded in reference to the 44.6% of the lot is in the coastal wetland zone.
Can I just be clear?
Yeah, please.
Board of Health responded that they had no comments. It wasn't that I didn't receive comments from
Oh,
them.
that's how I understood
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Okay. That's how I understood it. So the criteria for the special permit, section 10.10, we're all very familiar with that. And the proposed extension or alteration must be consistent with the purpose of the CWOD, Coastal Wetlands District. Health and safety occupants of the land subject to seasonal or periodic tidal flooding, and preservation of the salt marshes, tidal flats, attendance, and their attendant public benefit, and the safety and purity of the water. So those issues have been discussed. Do we feel like they've been discussed appropriately? Are you comfortable with what you've said so far? Okay. All right. And that's page 24, and then I'm missing this. So Bob commented on the digging a foundation and putting in, not the foundation, but putting in the piers and making some changes to the site as far as digging and things of that nature. So those
Right.
issues.
We're not digging, we're gonna fill the hole where the crawl space is, and the intent is to just keep it as a level lot. It's fairly level right now. So I don't see anything varying 6 inches
Okay.
one way or the other and leveling it out from what I've seen, what I remember. And that driveway area is all there already.
And
that
it's all gravel and it's
driveway,
easy, yeah, it's, okay.
Right.
And then there was also a comment about giving as a condition of approval, an effective notice to prospective purchasers by sign or otherwise of past flooding of said premises and the steps undertaken by the petitioner or successors entitled to alleviate the effects of the same. And then no certificate of occupancy shall be issued until the board, the building commissioner, Board of Health, Conservation, we just talked about that, have received a certified plan showing the final project. Okay, so those things would be part of the conditions. Are there anything else? Am we missing anything? Steve? Okay. So, then, based on the public's input and where we stand, I'm comfortable closing. Is the board comfortable closing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to close 77 Cherry Street, case 22-15. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Heidi. All those in favor of closing?
Larry Keane, aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
Steve Feeney, aye.
All right, so we are closed. Okay. This is over here. So, the petitioner is seeking a special permit in accordance with 305-10.12, which we just talked about. Could we just reiterate what conditions the board, and see if we're all in favor of making those changes? So, let's start with the condition to keep the existing trees on Cherry Street.
Anything that's
Well,
on
the
the
trees
site
that
to
are on
leave.
their property.
On their site.
Exactly,
Right.
that are on the parcel
Right.
identified.
Are to remain.
Are
Right.
to remain.
Right.
Okay.
'Cause if
Is
they're
the
town-owned,
bo-
you don't
Is the
grant them
board
to do it.
okay with leaving that as a condition?
Yep.
Okay, and the applicant seemed okay, so that would be a condition. And then to make some sort of an accommodation for keeping construction vehicles off
On
Cherry
site.
Street unless, there's some situation that occurs that needs to.
some notice.
Yeah, as long as the applicant or the owner of Cherry Street would make some notice to their neighbors,
Understood.
because those things do occur,
Yeah, so
Just
maybe
use-
unless not possible,
Just go over the verbiage
vehicles.
on that.
What's that?
Yep.
Oh,
We're just
oh,
kind of-
48, like something
Construction
like,
vehicles off Cherry
mostly in the
Street.
building code, it's like 48 hours notice if you're gonna be
Something like
moving a
that.
building, or if you're gonna be you know,
To
doing
give
something.
So to give the,
If
there
they're
aren't
gonna-
many
they have to close the
abutters.
street or block the street for anything, maybe they have to give
Yep.
48 hours notice or 24 hours notice or something like
For
that.
just
to
the
to
people on Cherry
residents.
Street. Would that be appropriate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, it's a
Do you have
tiny
that,
road, so they
Nancy?
kind of have to.
Enough.
enough of that. And
We'll work on
what else did we have?
The hours or anything? They were talking about hours?
So-
The hours are set.
24/7, 7 days a
Whatever the
week,
state
No, the
standard.
hours are 7 to 9.
7 to 9.
That's the state
7.
hours of work where you can operate a power saw or outdoor power equipment from the hours of 7 to 9, and that's not, and that's exempt from like the decibel requirements of a noise violation.
So we could make it,
Anything beyond that is up to the responding officer to determine whether or not it's reasonable noise or whether it's unreasonable.
Is that 7 days a week?
Yes.
Yeah.
so do you want to say
Some
7 days a
some
week?
towns have
I
adopted
think it's
stricter
I
fine.
agree.
things, but
So I think
It's
that,
handled. It's just like anyone else in the town that's building.
Yeah.
right.
You fall under the same description.
And if there's a problem, then they go to
There's
the
outlets.
appropriate
Yeah, there's
sources for
outlets to use.
Well, just
Go
solution.
talk to your neighbor.
Go talk to your neighbor. Right.
Yeah, I mean, just.
Okay, was there
Which
anything
they all
else?
seem pretty reasonable, so.
I'm looking at my notes.
All right, so, planning, construction coordination, the blocking, work hours, street size, on-site, parking on-site. Trees, Bill Grafton, snow erosion, is
That's it?
it? Yep. Street frontage will not be removed. Yep, that's it. That's all my notes are.
There was a comment from one of the members of the public if we wanted to check with Bill Grafton, but they've been through this. I'm sure they have checked as far as the trees that are no longer on the site, but being able to pull up current day mappings was great, so.
Well, everybody said they're
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah,
the general consensus is the trees are a non-issue.
okay, so I think that we are very good, right?
I think so.
Okay. Bob, do you have anything else to add?
No?
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to grant the special permit in accordance with 10.12 and 13.02, acknowledging the board has reviewed the criteria for both of those, and using the conditions as we just outlined. We had 3, correct? 3 conditions?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi Conway. All those in favor?
Larry Keane, aye.
And Fiddler, aye.
Heidi Conway, aye.
Brian Murphy, aye.
All right. So that is good.
Well, any of that stuff that Bob read, does that have to be added, or no? We did that already?
We did
But you
that
read
while we were
it. Okay, no, I'm
deliberating.
just double checking, so nobody has
Right?
any issues down the
He said he
road.
was all set.
Yes,
Okay.
Heidi
Okay.
confirmed it.
Okay.
All right, that's done.
So you're all
Right.
set. Do we want to
You're passing me in 2
deliberate
hours, yeah.
on 72A on the issue over the variance, which is, I think, where we're stuck, or do we want to look at this on a fresh night?
How long do we have on this one? Because it's already been extended. How many?
Several times?
Yeah. What's the time
What's the time frame there?
I
We only have 100
don't
days,
even
right?
know.
Bob, how many days we have on a variance?
100.
You have 100 days to act from the date that it's filed with the board.
But this is 72A, so
What do you mean?
wasn't it, it was
The McNiff.
It
withdrew?
was originally filed, I think, in October.
Yeah, and then it
What?
But then it.
But then it
it's
was
been
not-
continued because of, didn't have plans. I think the plot plan was submitted January.
Well, why don't we do this?
Do
Why
we
don't
need
we,
another
I think
letter?
it would be prudent of us to wait and not do this tonight.
I agree, but we gotta make sure, because it's
So
automatic
then-
if we hit
and
the
then-
timeframe.
Dick is here with us, so we could ask Dick for an agreement to continue that and make sure that we have the paperwork in place with the applicant so that we could vote on this on a fresh night.
Or we can just extend it to the 22nd, and if Dick wants to talk to the guy.
It's been closed, so
you have
it's,
to talk to your client.
To do what?
I mean,
To
he's
extend-
anxious to get going, he's waited
Yeah,
for a
time.
while.
okay.
And Time is of the essence.
Essence.
But
If we do continue this to 22nd, can
We're
we
already-
make this first? We're already doing
We're
it.
not, we don't have to, it's, well, we've
Yeah.
already closed,
Yeah,
we
so
don't
we
have to
have
continue.
we don't have to continue our deliberation. We
Yeah.
have a period
But
of
we're gonna
time, but
continue
we're
it
under
over
the,
to 22nd. Gonna,
we don't
push it
have,
over.
we can do it tonight, but if we do it tonight, I'm not sure that we will have a positive outcome.
I think you just gotta let everyone kind of figure this out.
We'll
Get
do
some
that.
things to look at on that map.
To come back the 22nd,
I
yes.
think that would
that's
be
fine. I
wise.
don't want anybody to
Right.
rush to make a wrong decision.
I think that would be wise.
All right, so we just don't have
So
to.
we don't have to,
say
we don't have
anything.
to say anything, we just
Right.
won't deliberate this evening,
Tonight.
and I'm,
Understood.
That's
And
the
he's got
end
a
of it.
letter saying, do we have to?
we don't need a letter.
don't, no?
Nope,
Okay.
nope.
I'd like to bring the
And I
car
would like-
wash back to sit here for a few more minutes, though.
Okay.
Shut up.
So, I'd like to take that vote tonight, but I don't know that that would be the best.
All right.
That's everything,
Thank you all
right?
for your
Okay,
time.
all right, thank you, appreciate it. So are there any other comments for this evening? Nancy, did we do everything? All right, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you to the
What is
public,
this?
thank you, Bob. We are going to make a motion to adjourn.
First kid.
Done.
Do I have a second?
Just close on my town.
Second.
Seconded by Larry Keane. All those in favor of ending this hearing for February 8th, 2022?
Aye.
Lynn Fiddler, aye.
Larry Keane, aye.
Brian Murphy,
Fiddler,
aye.
aye. Brian Murphy, aye. Steve Fine. So we have 5 of us, and we are now adjourned. Please.